Time for Ask RG. Galacticos, Ashley, how are you?
I'm great, how are you?
We're fine. We're here with the questions for our new subscribers. This is a segment we do where we answer anything you want to ask. You can send the questions with the hashtag AskRG. Could be in this video, but not necessarily. Could be anywhere on Facebook, on Twitter, or any other videos. You know, hashtag AskRG. And we'll see if we can answer.
Perfect.
So let's go with the questions. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready. This time V has the honor of asking me questions.
Always an honor. So first question by Sanon the Dreamer says, do you believe La Liga has become stronger or weaker in the past 5 seasons?
Past 5 seasons. I think actually La Liga has become stronger. We're seeing that it's not just a 2-team league now, not just Barca and Real Madrid being the ones that are dominating. We've also got Atleti now, who's giving all the teams a run for the money, and of course Athletic, Bilbao, Sevilla,
Especially
Valencia,
Sevilla competing in international
competitions in Champions League and UEFA, and so I think this is a good thing. I think that it's, you know, we're seeing mid-table teams doing well in other competitions where maybe we're looking at the Barclays Premier League where these teams aren't doing that. Even the top teams aren't doing that well in the international competitions.
Yeah, so I'd say it's become a little stronger. I mean, it's still pretty much a 2-team thing, but now it's fair to say that it's like a 3-team thing, because Atletico, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, it would have been unthinkable that Atletico will be competing for the leagues with Barca and Madrid. And especially what you said about Sevilla, you know, it's like how the middle class teams in the Liga are doing well in international competitions. So, you know, of course, there's still a gap, but I think in the last 5 years, it becomes stronger as a...
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's good. What do you think? Sanon the Dreamer. Next question by Adrian Bello. Says, do you think the British Premier League and English players are overrated?
Overrated. Okay, there's always this competition, I think. People say like the Premier League is the best league in the world, that Liga is crap, that... I disagree with that. I don't know that it's overrated. I think it's definitely a different style of football. That's for sure. I think because we watch a lot of La Liga, maybe we are more prone to saying we love La Liga. But I think like in terms of entertainment, there's more goals, it's more physical. Maybe not more goals, but there's... But the way they play is more physical, it's a little bit faster, it's more direct, and some people like that. I don't know if it's overrated. I don't think the players are overrated. I mean, we see these players, and I think England, they didn't fare that well in the Euros, but I still think they have great players, and there's lots of great players, Spanish players, I mean, international players that go and play in the Premier League. So
I might go the other way. I'd say, like, as a competition, as a brand, the Premier League might not be overrated. You know, it's something that people love around the world. And it's true that the top teams and maybe middle-class teams, like in Spain, do better in international competitions, but I always be interested in have, like, a competition with the bottom teams.
Yeah, we talked about this.
And see, like, how would, like, the 3 or 4 bottom teams in England would do against the 3 or 4 bottom teams in Spain?
Of the worst.
And I think maybe, you know, the worst teams in the Premier League are stronger than the worst teams in Spain. But,
you think so?
You know, it's I don't know. I'm assuming, but I don't know. But English players, I do think they're overrated.
You do think so?
Yeah, because, you know, I mean, they're...
Well, was it the English players or was it the players in the Premier League?
No, English players. And I think, you know, the good proof of that was the Euro Cup, for sure. You have all this Sturridge and all these players that, you know, like they go for like 80 million, 90 million in the Premier League. But then when they have to assemble a team and compete decently in Europe, they can't. So I think they might be, you know, maybe it's a thing of them not being used to leaving and playing in other cultures.
That could be,
and like, you know, they're very closed in the British Premier League thing.
We don't often see many British players play outside of the Premier League.
Exactly, and when we see all these players like being kind of pampered in their own context, we're like, oh, Sturridge is a 80 million player, but then you see him play in the Euro Cup. Maybe he's not that good, but that's of course my opinion. I do think they're a little. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh well, thank you for the question, Adrian. We'll go with the next question. Is Elber Galarga, or a friend from Chile, says, do you think Leicester will repeat their their thing next season, winning the Premiership?
No.
Yeah.
I think that was sort of a luck in the sense that also the top teams in the Premier League had a horrible season.
True.
Were playing poorly. I mean, and it was...
It's not to take any merit from them.
No, not to take anything away from them, but I think like in terms of football, this season was not what anyone expected from the top teams that...
From United, Chelsea, and City.
Arsenal.
And I think, you know, one of the strongest things for Leicester was the surprise factor, which they have completely lost, you know, by winning the Premier, of course, the momentum. But I do think that most Man United, Guardiola's, City, you know, are going to be better competitors throughout the whole year, and maybe not going to let you know, a surprise team win the Premiership. So
Yeah.
I don't think
so.
I don't think it's going to happen again. I mean, it was good that it happened. It's brilliant, but I don't think it's going to happen again. Maybe in the future, but not this year. Mod Hassan asks us, who is your football crush?
So, okay, Galactico fans, don't be upset if I have to say my football crush and not just Real Madrid crush. It's gonna be Antoine Griezmann.
Ooh, the little prince. Ashley has a thing for royalty. Ashley has a thing for royalty.
And
Yeah.
yours?
My football crush is Ashley.
Oh.
Here's a picture of Ashley playing football. So she'll be your football crush too. I have no football crush.
Hope Solo.
Ashley.
Me.
Hope Solo. No. But well, next question by Kevin. Thank you, Kevin ASNS. Says which changes do you think will happen in the starting 11 of Real Madrid this season?
This season around Madrid, starting 11. Wow. I think we'll see some changes perhaps in the midfield, depending on, I mean, it depends on who we sign. It depends on the system that Zidane wants to play, if he stays with a 4-3-3 or if it changes to a 4-4-2. I would say we might see a change in the three up top and maybe in the center, in the midfield, depending on the formation that he plays.
Yeah, I just think we're not going to see a change in defense
I don't
or
think
in the
so.
in the goal, which makes me happy to
Me
see
too.
Keylor Navas for another season. Maybe, you know, we brought Coentrao back, so we have more backup for our starting defense, but which I think is going to be Pepe, Ramos, Marcelo, and Carvajal.
I never really liked Coentrao.
And then I do like Coentrao.
You
I
do?
think he's a good sub. I think he's a good sub.
but I like.
But in the starting 11, I don't know. Maybe, you know, if we bring Kanté, you know, to give some rest to Casemiro in some games. If Pogba ends up coming,
Right,
you know,
like
he'll
if-
have to replace Kroos or Modric.
Right, and that's the question.
I wouldn't go crazy,
If Pogba comes, I mean, how are they going to play this? Are they going to play with a 4-4-2 with Pogba in the middle, and then, you know, incorporating if James leaves, if Isco stays, if Morata comes? I mean, Morata's
Yeah,
coming, so
what is very clear is that we're going to see Benzema, Bale, and Cristiano up top. But yeah, again, I don't know. I wouldn't make many changes. I make, again, as we were talking in some of the videos, you know, making the squad more extensive so that we have more options for subs when players are injured. We
Right.
suffered a lot from injuries this year. So, you know, instead of thinking as a starting 11, I'd like to start thinking as like a starting 15 or starting 16. And you
Okay.
have players that they can always play and they won't be unhappy and creating,
Right.
you know, mayhem if they don't play. But yeah, it's just a matter of waiting and see who comes and who leaves.
Okay, cool.
Which we'll know in the coming
soon.
weeks. Yeah.
Perfect.
Next question by Juan Murillo Figueroa says, "What kind of game do you prefer, or is it more entertaining for you?
Okay.
Counter-attack or tiki-taka?"
I am certainly the counter-attack style is very. I guess can I choose like a mix of the two?
Ah, you can choose whatever you want.
I love tiki-taka because I think that's how I like to play personally, but also sometimes it can be kind of boring when you're like, okay, shoot, at some point shoot. And in a sense, for this counter-attack is exciting because you've got the fast attack, you've got goals or opportunities on goal. So if I could just, you know, blend the two with a little tiki-taka, with a little counter style, that would be that's not even a good answer. What about you?
Well, but I concur with the
concur.
answer. I think it's a
Okay.
mix of both. Because, you know, sometimes now maybe after Guardiola, it's kind of like weird to say, but apparently it's like now you can only play tiki-taka or counter-attack.
Right.
And I don't agree with that. I like when teams pressure up high, which is not really counter-attack. Because you're not waiting in
Right.
defense to go out in the counter-attack. You're just pressuring up high.
Pressuring up high to cause a
And you're not
turnover
giving
and-
that much value to possession and moving the ball around. Sometimes, you know, senseless. I like, you know, offensive football. I like teams that want to attack, and when they have the ball, they're thinking about scoring goals and not like, you know, getting the opponent dizzy. But anyway, you know, that's what we think. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Next question by Carlos Goncalves says, do you think that Bale will be nominated for the Ballon d'Or?
Oh.
And I think that depends on what happens on Wednesday. I think he's already done a great season. He's been crucial for Real Madrid in the Liga, in the last part of the Liga, especially in the semifinals and the final of Champions League. And maybe not so much in the final, but yes, in the semifinals and in the Euro. I think if Wales win the Euro, I think Bale will be the Ballon d'Or. You know, if they make it to the final, he'll be a nominee for sure. But if they win it on Sunday, next Sunday, I think, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, all of this Wales thing happened only because of Bale. Not at all.
No.
But, you know, he's a key factor. And if they end up winning it, you have to give it to him.
I agree. I think, and we were talking about the Ballon d'Or before, and like how we thought, you know, maybe Iniesta should be nominated for this as well because this is the best player, not just the maximum goal scorer. So I guess yeah, I think maybe things have changed now because Spain is out and weren't able to see Iniesta do what Iniesta does so wonderfully. And now we've got, oh my gosh, something's getting me. Oh, it's my cable. I thought it was a fly. But I mean, I think it's what Bale has done this season, fighting through the injuries. I mean, he's played such an important role, especially towards the end of the season. We had injuries, and he was able to sort of pick up our team and carry them through certain matches. And then now what he's doing, I think just having him on the pitch for Wales gives them that belief that like we can do this. I mean, he brought them to I think he was a key part in bringing them to the Euros, and now maybe he hasn't scored the most decisive goals. It's obviously a team effort, but like you said, if they win the Euros, yes.
Yeah, if they win the Euros. Nominee, I think he will be a nominee anyway. Maybe it will be Griezmann, you know, depending on how the Euro ends for France. But if Wales win it, for sure. And the last question is by Christian Martinez. Asks us, do you live off YouTube? Do you have another job? Or is this only like a personal hobby thing that you do?
Yes and no.
Yes and no, of course, this is a full-time job. We couldn't bring you all this content if you know, as a hobby, because we're traveling all the time, you know, talking about Real Madrid, going to the games. So yeah, it's a full-time job. We're part of a network. You should check our brother channels too, cousin channels. If you like Manchester United, you go to Full Time Devils, spurred on for the Tottenham Hotspurs, you know, Blue Moon Rising for
Chelsea fan channel. If you
exactly,
like Chelsea.
You know, and of course the Football Republic.
The Football Republic
is our house. So you should check them out on Facebook and YouTube and everywhere. So yeah, I mean, we're not just, you know, lone rangers doing this on our own. It would be impossible. It would be impossible. I think.
We love football, but not that much.
No, we love football, but you know, we don't have that much time. There isn't that much time. But anyway, Galacticos, those were the answers. We hope you enjoyed. If you have any more questions, of course, keep them coming to Ask RG. Give us a like and subscribe.
And wait, I'm gonna do what Iñaki does in the Spanish channel. I'm gonna do our Spanish videos, a like campaign. Guys, like us. I don't know how many likes our videos usually get, but let's go for 1 million.
Let's go for 1 million. If we get 1 million likes,
no,
we'll see what happens. We'll think about it. All right, but yeah, we'll see you later.